Okay.
Okay, well, welcome back to another edition of Marc with the Mouth and the Smart Wife. I am Marc, and this is the smartest wife, Danielle.
Hi.
She is the best. And this episode is 17 months into being parents. And how it's going, the highs, the lows, and the in-between. Just want to make an episode where we discuss how it's been for us.
Yeah,
and
it's a huge life-changing thing.
And some of the topics we'll cover are the hard, the sad, and the heart melting.
What?
The heart melting?
Heart melting?
Yeah, because he melts our hearts. Like,
okay. That's a weird phrase.
Melts your heart. Like,
it melts your heart, but it's not heart melting.
It's definitely heart melting.
I feel like that's more, I don't know, that sounds violent.
No, like melting your heart and heart melting, like not like a violent. But like he melts us.
We'll be melting your heart later. It's like Indiana Jones.
No, maybe not with cuteness. Yeah, like for example, some of the heart melting moments were like Remy's first word being hi.
Yeah.
I
did a diaper and then I put him on the ground and he just ran in the bedroom.
I was asleep still,
and he was slapping on the bed. Hi.
Yeah, and woke me up
cute.
with just saying hi. And now it's transitioned. I think that was like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was 16 months. It was the clearest.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he said words.
But now a month later, he's like, "Hi, Daddy," or like, I could say "ring, ring," and he'll pick up a fake phone.
Hello.
Yeah, it starts like a fake conversation with a fake phone.
Yeah.
But there's also, there's heart melting moments. And then there's also hard and sad moments that, are difficult for anyone, right?
Well, I think it was just last night I got freaked out because we just got him to bed and we're also doing some sleep training right now where he's going to be sleeping in his bed instead of ours or, waking up in the middle of the night is the hope. So we're doing all this stuff and we just put him to sleep. He just got to sleep. And Marc's in the bedroom just making sure he's staying asleep.
Yeah.
And then I was out here and I was just cleaning up toys that were like laying around our living room. But then I just kicked my foot into a pillow, which then set off a domino effect of all the toys that were still on, like a drum set.
We have a drum and it starts just like it flashes. It's a Fisher-Price drum that flashes colors and plays music. So as soon as you hit it. And it was
on full volume.
You can't find the off button.
No.
It's like,
and then I didn't know which side. It's a toggle and there's a off, low volume, and high volume.
Yeah.
But there's also a setting like 1, 2, 3 for their like
loudness
level of
and then level of
how
learning.
Many. Yeah. So it was like on the setting where it was going to play music like consistently.
For like a minute,
level
it will
1
play music and then
high volume.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I turned off all the lights before I decided to pick up some toys because then I had no idea and I kept moving the toggles and just making it sing even more and your
whole body just cringes because it's like
I was like,
we just finally got him to sleep and now he's going to wake up. So there's been a lot of parent fears unlocked and that's definitely one of them.
Whew, I was sweating. I was sweating bullets.
It's scary and sad when he wakes up and then he's inconsolable because either he's been pulled out of dreamscape,
That's one of the most
heart-wrenching.
Yeah, that's a phrase that we could use. Heart-wrenching.
Instead of heart melting.
Heart melting, totally different.
No, yeah. There was a period like
a couple weeks ago.
16 month, like right in the middle of 16 month, where he had 2 separate night terror tantrums and woke up, 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah. It's like he's not even awake.
Yeah.
But he just can't calm down.
He was terrorized almost from being pulled out of a dream or just the dream that he was having, whatever it was. But it took like 45 minutes to an hour to get him to be calm and chill,
and this is at like 3 in the morning when we're all dead asleep and then he just
I'm just glad it only happened twice.
This terror, it was intense.
And hasn't happened since.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't happened
we talked to our pediatrician about it, right? And he was like, well, there's stuff, and that's why we started doing more sleep training techniques. And like the one I'm doing now, we're doing is like camping out where we're sort of like we're near his bed, which is a mattress on the floor, and his
inside his pack and play. His pack and play is turned up on its side, so
he can get out and everything.
Laying on the floor,
like a little cave.
Yeah, like a cave. So he can stand up and still walk on the floor, but he's like next to our king size bed on the ground.
That way he doesn't roll off or like hurt himself because he's already on the ground.
For the most part, it's been pretty successful. Like we started last week, or the beginning of this week, right? I think we started last week.
Last week I started with naps. Yeah. And we didn't really change up the nighttime routine until this week.
She started with naps like right here. She had pillows right where our feet are.
And then you told me, because you had read some articles and you were like, nap time should also be dark.
It should be dark. That was what I read. So, it should be dark. And we also use this YouTube channel that plays like sleepy time, like Disney music, like, but just the instrumentals. And it's piano versed. Mm-hmm. And mixed that with like some imagery that has like water sounds, and he's like out, you know, really fast.
It's like running water, which might make some people pee. We'll see how it goes when he's potty training.
But it's been pretty effective.
So far
to help.
It works.
And then we get to the phase where he's in hormone phase, where he fights his naps, which is so hard because, you know, it's like he's crying and sad and angry because he's gonna fall asleep, but he doesn't want to fall asleep yet. And it's like, loving him so much, like it's hard to bear.
Yeah.
Stuff
and
like this.
He's blowing raspberries. I don't know if the mics are picking him up. He's blowing raspberries over there while he eats dinner.
That's the heart melting moments I have, is when he's like blowing raspberries at us.
Melt your heart.
It melts my heart. So good. Yeah. What, Remy?
What else are we going to talk about?
I want to pull up my Google Docs.
I thought you were looking at it.
I had it open and it closed.
For this episode, we had a problem with our mics connecting to my iPhone, which was what we're recording on over there. So, like, we'll see how it goes.
Oh, so this next section could be parenting fears unlocked. And, like, we can have a logo that, like, comes up. It says parenting fears unlocked, right?
Very intense.
So some of the things that have been scary so far. Danielle walked into our bedroom and found Remy following our cat underneath our mattress or underneath our bed.
Yeah, he was behind our nightstand.
We have a king size bed and it's automated, so like we can recline it up feet and legs if we want. But it's like there's gears under there and stuff. But he was like following our cat Gizmo under the bed, and she had to like get on the floor and drag him out. Mm-hmm. You know, and just
I think when he was just starting to crawl and walk and stuff around like 10, 11 months. Yeah. Gizmo, our cat, was the reason he escaped our little like playpen area. He had never wanted to go underneath his toys, and we had this DJ booth that has like 4 legs, and it maybe comes off the ground like a foot and a half. And I was in the kitchen. Our son is barricaded into the living room space, but we didn't have real gates at the time. We just had this DJ booth, which was easy for me to step over because, you know,
he was just crawling. He wasn't walking yet. So like he
would just crawl after Gizmo.
He could stand himself up, but he wasn't walking yet.
Yeah. You know? So I feel like it was 10 months. Yeah. He started walking more closer to 11.
He found out and figured out to crawl over. We also had, I think, boxes. No, what was it that we had there with the DJ booth?
It was the toy box.
We have like a black toy chest that is like has a lid on it.
It's just a cloth thing,
over it. Yeah. And so, you know, he wasn't tall enough yet to get over it. He could just his shoulders were just at its height because it was like 3 feet off the ground, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. But so Danielle was in the bathroom and all of a sudden heard and then a little laughter, and then next thing she knew, our son was in front of the bathroom, being like, "Oh, hello."
I mean, I'm sure other moms, if they hear this or whatever, and they're like want to comment about it, but like, if I know my kid is like safe in their safe spot where you think they can't escape,
you're wrong.
But then, like, you go to the bathroom for that like 5 seconds you need to pee.
Which leads me
and you leave the door open, and then all of a sudden your kid's in the bathroom with you.
Which leads me to my next parent fear unlocked is how smart and how fast he's becoming smarter. because he is a figure-it-outer. Oh, how smart he is, and how fast he's becoming smarter.
Yeah.
And I chalk it up to Danielle being so smart and a problem solver because
thanks.
he is like figuring stuff out, like really easy, figuring out how to get on counters, how to get stuff down, how to operate our phones even. Like
and he's super tall and heavy.
And he's very monkey see, monkey do. Like he takes after us. Like, because we're with him all the time.
And that's why I keep telling you that when the gates are closed,
we have a gate right here.
Do not jump over the couch or just step over it because
I don't want
him
to come through the gate.
He's gonna climb up. He sees you. He saw you for months going over this gate, and now he's like, "Oh, now that I could get up on the couch, I'm getting over that gate. I can get over that gate. No problem."
He's gonna get over it real soon. Like, because now he's as tall as our door to open and unlock doors.
Yeah, like, that's the other thing. We have like these little doorknob containers.
So like the safety thing. Actually grab the doorknob. There's like a knob around the doorknob.
Yeah, and then I saw some TikToks that you could do it. Like put a sock and a scrunchie around the doorknob,
which we have in our bedroom.
Yeah, because like those doorknobs that have the lock in the door handle,
Yeah.
He's locking himself. He locked you guys in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Just the other day. And
I was washing my hands,
that would scare me so much. I also use a pool noodle that I cut in half or like in a quarter, I think.
Yeah, we use it so that
shove
way
that in the door
he can't
jam.
Shut doors on his fingers,
That's how it started, but now it's just so he doesn't close it and lock himself in our bedroom without what if we're not with us?
Have to call a maintenance request to get someone to open the door for us.
I mean, I know those doors on the outside of the doorknob, there's like a little hole.
Yeah, but
you can unlock it with maybe like a
pin or a safety pin
something.
Or something thin, yeah.
Or I don't know.
But he's figuring things out like exponentially faster than we can keep up sometimes. What are some other parent hacks? So we try to keep him from danger or keep him from like, getting hurt. And he cries real tears at things that are not like world ending.
Oh, yeah. Well, that started.
For example, today.
13 months, real tears.
We're trying to teach him not to stand on the couch. So if he stands on the couch, we'll bring him down to the floor and say, okay, no more on the couch. And we'll stop him. And he'll be like,
consequences.
He'll start just convulsing and crying and being like, the world is ending because we won't let him get on the couch. Which everyone said, like, once he gets to 2-year-old, like, the temper tantrums will start to pour in.
I don't know. I think that everything has hit earlier.
That's what I'm saying.
Remy.
Like, that's what I mean is that, like, he's at 17 months and he's like getting through that. I think maybe he'll get through it sooner, but it's the hardest part.
And you know what I was just thinking before we started filming this? So like at 18 months, it's like pretty epic because for people who aren't parents or like doing the math, that's 1.5 years old.
Yeah.
That's like a real milestone.
Yeah.
Like next month is gonna ruin us.
I mean, the next few months are, I think, gonna I've almost felt ruined already, like because, like you said, like getting him to go to sleep at a routine and reading that not all kids can just fall asleep. Like our son, in this instance, sometimes needs to be rocked, and while I'm rocking him, he'll be crying through it because his body is fighting off the sleep. Yeah. He's like, I don't want to sleep. But then within minutes of rocking him, he's out. After all this like crying and
thankfully,
struggling.
Pretty heavy sleeper.
Yeah, he's now become a heavy sleeper because we've had successful this week, like where every night except for last night and the night before, slept the whole night in his pack and play. Except for the last 2 nights.
I always think it's funny when people say that though. It's like with the exception of 1 or 2 things, this whole week has been great. It's like no, like let's just say it's like 4 out of 7.
It's 5 out of 7.
5 out of 7.
Because we've had Monday through Friday, so that's what I'm saying. Like, with the exception of 2 nights. I just
think it's funny. It's like, let's be realistic.
I think that is realistic, though, saying like it's more working because he slept in there more days than he slept in our own bed. And he's been sleeping in our own bed
for more hours.
How many months now has he been sleeping in our bed?
Well, I mean, ever since he was born. to be honest
Well,
with you,
I'd put him in the pack and play and the bassinet, like, and he would sleep next to me.
infrequently.
But, well, it was a comfort thing when you were
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
hospital.
And I mean, so I had a lot of birth complications that I don't want to talk about on this episode. Maybe when I'm a little bit more emotionally ready, we'll have an episode about that. I did write about it on my website, my blog, because I needed to get some emotions out. But yeah, the first month of his life, I was in the hospital. We had our family, our parents over to help us.
We had my
and
parents,
stuff.
your parents first,
and
then
also
my parents.
like we wanted that connection with our son, so we did sleep. He slept on top of us.
He was the size of this right here, this one part of my chest. So I mean, like, he fell asleep here in the first 4 weeks of his life. Like,
yeah,
you know, in the first 24 hours of his life, like, I was holding him right here, you know, and he was sleeping.
And
on
I think
me.
that's really important. I mean, that they say that the skin to skin contact. I mean, with the mother, they make more of a statement with it. But I was so sick.
Yeah.
But then like you had that time with him, and I think that really made a difference now, the way he like relates to us. And,
yeah. Well, it's like, it's a part of my parent fears is like, oh my gosh, like, afraid that like I'm gonna be sad when he doesn't want us to console him anymore.
Oh, when he's not a hugger anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder. I mean, I should ask my mom, because we're not touchy people.
Well, my parents weren't either, but like, you know, I'm a hugger.
Like, my mom touched my arm at a dinner once, and I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, that's how weird we are. We don't, I don't know.
That's how, I don't know if like that's how my dad is, but my dad's never been like a big, you know, affectionate person. But my mom was more of like the hugger. Like, so it was
she's
like
touching you all the time. I feel like you're such a mama's boy like that.
I was the baby of three boys. So I mean, it just happened that way.
That's true.
So back to parent fears, because this is about our kid, not
not how we grew up.
Yeah.
Although that probably has a lot to do with how how we're raising him, or how we're not raising him.
You were watching that video that talks about generational trauma being transcended.
Yeah.
You know, and like it's real, like trying to fill the gaps of your childhood by raising our child.
Yeah. Way. Or it's like a self-fulfilling like
prophecy.
Yeah, where you're really trying not to be your parents, but then you turn out to be just like your parents anyway.
Yeah. But like I think we're doing stupid better.
Progressive commercials.
I think we're doing better in that aspect, I think, at least, because like our different upbringings is really helping us manage like parent fears, and also like you know, adapting to, like I said, I always say like taking our cues from Remy directly. Like, he's been so great at adapting from you being in the hospital to you coming home, you know, and then all the things that he's adapted to really fast. Before he was supposed to, like, he, you know, crawled before he was supposed to, you know, or
well, he's been there. I mean, and we've been there for him, like, even though we had a lot of hardships in the beginning, then we do live very far, so we don't have a lot of extended family.
It's just been us pretty much,
here. So when I am not in the hospital,
which she hasn't been in the hospital for
it was August of last year that I had my gallbladder out, so that was another.
Wow, it's been since August last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's almost a year and a half old, so that makes sense.
That's crazy.
You know, since 2023.
Well, in this turn, I'll turn to asking you, what has been some of the most fun parts of raising our son?
The most fun parts? I guess like just having him mimic and having when I first was able to like pick him up and hang out with him and do all this stuff with him that we didn't have our parents around, and I actually got to be mom one-on-one with him while you were working. And he works remotely, so he works in the hallway. Like at the time,
I work in a room down the hall, which is separate from this room, so it's like 20 feet away.
Yeah, and for breaks and everything, he would come out and check on us and make sure that everything's cool, because I still have a hernia that impacts the way I have to pick him up and take care of him and stuff. But it's just like that was the most rewarding thing, because I finally got to be like that mom that I always wanted to be.
Well, there were times you couldn't get on the ground with him, like, you know, and now you can. Like, There are things like you're getting, like when I come out and see you building blocks with him on the ground, like it's so rewarding to me.
That's
to see.
so amazing because he lights up, when
Mm-hmm.
you're like with him on his level. And I feel like when I started doing that and it was just me and him, the one-on-one time was my favorite. And then he mimics me, right?
Yeah.
And now that he walks, he's following me around. He's holding on to my legs. He likes to take things out of my pockets. So I'm like maybe making food for us or something for lunch, and I'm in the kitchen. He's just walking up to me. He starts taking things out of my pockets. So he'll take my phone out. And then I was like, well, we can't be having that. So I start shoving toys in my pockets.
That leads me to my second parent fear is she'll be in the kitchen making food for him. But he comes in and he's so he's such an explorer the way he is that our dishwasher and our oven are right next to each other, and he'll start toggling switches, and we have to make sure, like,
the dishwasher is so old.
He tries
to
open
it. It has a dial. That's how it turns on. Is a dial, and he has all these toys that taught him how to dial the dial.
I bought him all these different problem-solving toys. They're like, turn this switch, turn this lever. Like,
the latch board.
Our
little.
Oh my God. So he knows how to
He's gonna operate
locks. Devices. So parent fear is him opening the oven, or opening the dishwasher while it's running.
Oh.
So we have these door latches that we put on it so he can't open it. But it's definitely scary what he can get into.
Yeah, the safety little toggle things we have on cabinets so he doesn't get into them. I mean, definitely lifesavers, but.
I think the most fun thing so far is, or like at this point, is his use of facial expressions.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes he's just like suddenly silly where he's just like.
Well, yeah. And then, so his teeth are coming in. He's a little late on the teeth, I think. Most kids have a lot more teeth. Molars are coming in right now.
Yeah.
And he is teething on everything still. So sometimes I'll have just like a lot of drool on his shirt.
So much because he's just like putting whatever he can in his mouth, which leads me to another parent fear is he is figuring out what fits in his mouth and not. And I'm afraid like one day he's going to like run and trip with like a fake grape in his mouth. And he's going to like.
Oh my God. Mark ran in here, I think it was just yesterday, with that starfish that came with his octopus toys for the bath. Yeah. And you were like, "Oh, we got to take this thing away from him." He was trying to shove all the four corners of the
starfish in his mouth, like he had almost all of it in there, and I was. And
I mean, it's like a pretty big thing. I wouldn't have
It's
thought.
a squishy that you like. It squirts water.
I don't think it really would fit in his mouth.
I don't know. He had half of it in his mouth, and it was just.
But we wouldn't want to let him try.
What has those been fun? What's been sad moments that we've had to deal with that have been the hardest?
Well, we did bring up the night terrors. That broke my heart. Because when your kid is inconsolable.
And not just that he was scared, like,
you could tell that he was.
It wasn't like he was showing emotion of something he was afraid
like
of.
Sleepwalking, like it was.
He was trembling. And it's like,
and
what
then
do you do?
We're both awake. We're both up. Yeah. And we're both just. Thank God for the internet, right?
Because we like really what it came to was it took 35 minutes to just walk around with him. I would rock him. I would bring him in the other room. We got him a bottle. Nothing was working. And, we put Bluey on and, it didn't work right away. But within a few minutes of after 45 minutes of trying a lot of different things. And in that 45 minutes, he's crying and screaming and not
sweating,
letting you put him on the ground.
He's having a very physical reaction to whatever he's afraid of, and it
either being pulled out of a dream or having a bad dream. When we first, I think like 6 months, 7 months when he started to crawl, and him falling off the bed was hard because I heard it from work.
I could look on my calendar when that really happened.
But he got really fast at crawling.
I think it was like 9 months.
Danielle was doing a diaper.
Which we had all the diaper changing stuff on our bed. And our bed, thank God, is only like a foot off the ground. It's not like a high mattress. But Mark was at work in the room next door with the door closed. And I was alone. We were doing a diaper. He literally turned over after the diaper was changed and booked to the opposite side of a king bed, and he dove off the bed. I saw him, like I had run around the corner, and I was like, oh my God, he just broke his neck, is what I'm thinking. I just like, he's dead.
Yeah, I thought it sounded hard from the other room. Like, I'm in the room right next, like a wall separating us.
Even right now, just picturing the angle that he fell off the bed.
That's what I was worried about too, because like the way he was landed when I came in was his legs were still up and his head was on the ground.
I mean, he was on his back, like he kind of did like a
forward flip,
dive,
like,
front roll, but like a back flop.
Yeah, and
it was no good.
And which leads me into some of our happiest things is how well he's recovered from things like that. Like
that was insane. He
recovered real fast.
I didn't recover.
But like
I'm
even
still
just
not
like
recovered.
We were like happy times of him being so like fast in recovery. Like whether it be like him getting his booster shots from Dr. Watkins and just like, crying for a second and then automatically being like, oh, okay.
Although, I mean, thank goodness for those nurses that are like super fast. They like know how to hold down. I mean, it's terrifying.
Yeah,
little baby legs holding them down, and like, but they do the shots very quickly, and then even
when he got circumcised, like, your mom, said like he didn't.
Thank God I wasn't there for that.
She wasn't there, but her mom was, and her mom,
Nightmare.
Was watching what was going on because she'd never seen it before happen.
And my mom has a sick curiosity like I do, where I would have watched because
she said
I wanted pictures of all my stuff at the hospital.
She said though that like Remy, cried for a second, but then was okay, once it was over.
Yeah,
and it's like he's been very
resilient
to falls, to shots, to things like that, and easy to adapt.
Yeah,
which
just
we've been
yesterday,
very lucky.
Just yesterday, he fell. I mean, of his own volition. He was just like, he was standing and then he just like falls. It'll do like a flop. But he flopped on top of this. It was like an activity cube that had a lid and it had like those wires and toys on it.
Oh, like an abacus.
Upside down. Yeah. But then he fell and it's got him right
abacus. And like the top is like all the wires, like she was saying.
Yeah.
And then the bottom is like a wood panel that goes on top of the activity cube.
He fell on top of it when it was upside down on the wire part so hard that it broke. It snapped the wood in the wood grain, and he has a scratch up the side of his calf now.
Yeah.
And it actually was bleeding a little bit, and I had to go. It happened. He like cried. He was like, ah. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm fussing over him. But he's like totally chill. And then I went and I just cleaned it with some hydrogen peroxide.
And he was okay.
He was like, it stung a little bit, I think. But it stopped bleeding right away. And he was totally fine.
Yeah. It's crazy. Honestly, like.
I was surprised, My nephew, when he was this age, it was funny too. Because whenever he would fall, he would be like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Before anybody could ask him if he was okay.
Yeah.
He would immediately fall, and Angela would just be like, fine, I'm fine.
I think that's how he's going to be.
Yeah.
And like, I chalk it up also to like how he's hit mile markers, like we said before he's supposed to. Like he's like, for his size, he's 17 months right now.
Yeah.
But he's the size of a 3-year-old that lives in our neighborhood
he's wearing
complex,
the 3T.
He's wearing 3Ts. He's very tall.
He's always been in the 90th percentiles of height and weight, but
I think he's in the 90th percentile of a lot of things, like especially like cognitive ability, because you've also taught him to be social, like to communicate to you with hand gestures, to speak to
sign language is really great.
And then even today, like he was trying to pick up my big metal like water bottle, and it's heavy, so it almost fell on him. And then I asked him, I was like, no, where's your water bottle? And he turned around and he pointed to it and then walked right to it and picked it up. And it's like, wow, he's being social and communicative. Like I can't. It's.
Oh, and I mean, it's been months that you could be like high five, and he'll go and high five you, or blow a kiss,
or blowing kiss, like teaching him how to like blow kisses or say hello. So when we're walking around the neighborhood, it took me some time, but now he like just is able to wave goodbye, or blow a kiss.
He says hi to people.
He says hi to people. Yeah,
in our neighborhood.
Hello.
It's really cute.
And it's just. 17 months in, like I guess like reality versus expectations, I don't know what I expected, but the reality is definitely a lot cuter, a lot sweeter, and
yeah, it's working out.
Even with the lows, the highs are still so really good. And
yeah,
I always
it's
tell
definitely
Danielle,
the toughest thing I've ever done in my whole life. Being a parent is really tough.
I always tell her, the only thing we can do is take our cues from him and adapt and help him learn how to adapt too.
Yeah. Yeah.
17 months in.
And we Google for stuff that we need.
Oh, we Google for everything.
I like read so many articles. I watch so many TikToks and, YouTube things. Like when I need help.
There's information out there for anyone who is a new parent. And I think like anyone who's a new parent shouldn't just use one source of what their parenting style should be. And then
with your own opinions, right? You find what works for you and your kid.
Find the middle. Yeah.
Because like some people are really, strict or
they
really
strict on regimens that they read from other people.
Not
and they don't.
Strict. I think about Rugrats. We were watching old Rugrats episodes when it's like, oh, we called Dr. Lipschitz.
Oh yeah, they called Dr. Lipschitz for everything.
It's $3 per minute on the phone with them or something.
Well, like in Look Who's Talking Now, right? It was back then. It was Dr. Kevorkian.
No, not Kevorkian. No, Spock.
Dr. Spock. Ah, Dr. Spock. Yeah.
Dr. Kevorkian.
No, not Dr. Kevorkian. Mistake. Cut that out.
Death.
Dr. Spock was like the one everyone went to in the 90s for baby books.
Yeah.
But there's no one secure way that every child is going to be raised. And I think that's what we're finding is that from all the sources of information that we have, we're finding our own way.
And you say, like, we'll play by ear.
We'll play by ear and take our cues from him because he's honestly been the best at deciding these things, like, and adapting with us or showing us what he needs.
Yes. Yeah. I think that really makes a difference.
And it's been pretty awesome. Like I said, the highs, the lows, the mediums. There's not more than like of one than there is of the other. It's all like kind of.
It's balanced.
It's balanced,
I think. And it's rewarding. I find being a mom is like super rewarding, and I never thought I wanted to be a mom.
Yeah.
Or that I could. So.
Especially when he rewards
Holy
us
moly.
With hugs and embraces.
Oh yeah.
And like. He smiles when we do a group hug together. Like his happy
sandwich
emotions
kiss.
Are the most. That's like the best reward is like him showing us how happy he is.
Yeah,
and I think we're doing a great job. 17 months in so far, and I can't wait to see what it's going to be like for him when he actually is a 3-year-old.
That's going to be wild. Every day is wild.
Yeah, every day is more wild than the next. But I think it's. Being so close to him, being able to be available is something I wish I would have had, more often because you can tell in his disposition that he's genuinely just a happy kid.
I hope he has security that we're here.
Yeah, like I said, I'll bring up that video that you were watching earlier.
Oh yeah, I could put that in the description. Actually, I forget what it is. It's like the Diary of a CEO. I think is the YouTube channel I watch, and he does a lot of interviews. I forget. She's a psychoanalyst and like child behavior specialist that I was just watching about children and giving them security, and like 1 in 5 kids in America develops a severe mental disorder by the time they're 3 years old,
just because of not having proper social circumstances with their immediate family, their parents
or even extended family, whoever's raising them, and she was talking a lot about motherhood, but also talks about the importance of a father in somebody's life. And, I'm just grateful for what we have. I mean, we went through a lot, and we'll talk about it maybe at a later time.
That's another episode.
Like, I'm just really happy and grateful, and I love you.
Yeah, I love you, and I love Remy. Remy is the best thing that's happened to us.
Yeah, I'm really glad. He was a happy accident.
Yeah, and on that sound of the bell, which the bell being Remy, we're going to end this episode.
He's done eating dinner, so we got to go.
Yeah, parenthood continues, and please follow us more, or catch us on our next episode.
Yeah.
But
thank you for watching.
Give us any comments or you have about your parenting journey.
Yeah. Fill us in. Let us know.
Take care. Bye.